Okay. Now I think now it is clear, right? What
Yeah.
and this I would I would suggest this GitHub Copilot. I'm sorry, Google Colab also explore. This is interesting. Everything is
Hmm.
through interface only actually. Okay, so here try this Google Colab. Here we can train also. I mean GPUs are there, right? If you train what the main problem with this free Google Colab is, if you train LLM, right, after 3 4 hours, it will get restarted actually. Maximum 3 hours only it will come. The GPUs, when we use more resources, the time will be limited. If you don't
Hmm.
use GPUs, it will work for 24 hours or 3 days, 2 days actually. But that is the problem, disadvantage actually with the free account. So Google has the
Hmm.
enterprise account also. I mean, most of the companies will use actually. I mean, it is expensive.
మైడి ఒక అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద బాక్స్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇది.
Hmm.
జీపీయూస్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ సింక్ అయినప్పుడు ఎక్కడైనా క్వాంటమ్ కంప్యూటింగ్ హెల్ప్ అయ్యేది ఇంకా కాదా?
Uh-huh.
Out of syllabus.
ఉమ్, అందుకనే అంటున్నా. సో జీపీయూస్
Hmm.
దగ్గరే క్వాంటమ్ కంప్యూటింగ్ వస్తుందా లేదంటే ఓకే జస్ట్ ఓన్లీ డౌట్ అంతే. నో
No,
ప్రాబ్లం.
GPUs దగ్గర రాదు. Quantum computing, that is a
ఓకే.
new thing which is
జస్ట్
coming up, right?
ఎనీవే ఎందుకంటే
Hmm.
డేటా ప్రాసెసింగ్ వచ్చి క్వాంటమ్ కంప్యూటింగ్ లింక్ చేస్తున్నారు.
Hmm.
ఈవెన్ ఈ అల్గారిథమ్స్ అన్ని అందులోకి వెళ్ళిపోతాయి. బట్ అది జీపీయూ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే అక్కడ వస్తుందా అని జస్ట్ ఒక డౌట్ వచ్చింది. ఓకే నో ప్రాబ్లం.
But processing anta it should be in GPUs only. Yeah. So okay. So now what we will do is, I mean, we'll start the RAG. Okay. And here.
Reg the starts is recording.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Started.
Rag it is finally.
Yeah,
Are we
yeah.
doing? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we covered all of them, right? Walama. Yeah, I mean the trainings actually, we can use Hugging Face, we can use Python to train, we can use Walama auto train also. Auto train we can download and we can use Walama as well for training. There are tools like AWS SageMaker and all we can use. And we discussed about LoRa, QLoRa fine tuning techniques. And model inferencing is also, I mean, inferencing is nothing but uh, using the LLM to work with new data. I mean, to give the responses with the for the new data actually. Okay, so that is where the inferencing comes.
Hmm.
Model has some knowledge, but if you ask the question which if the data is not there in model, or model never knew about the data, but still model LLM can answer it actually. That is actually called model inferencing. That is based on patterns and the previous references and the data which LLMs can answer it. That is how, I mean, model inferencing works. I mean, human being, we also we learn something, and but we answer right, even though we didn't see the data, we didn't know about that previously, but still we use our intelligence to answer it. That is also human inferencing basically. Okay, so model inferencing is also the same. And model optimization, quantization we discussed, reducing the data type size actually. The last point we didn't discuss actually, that is model pruning. Model pruning is nothing but it's a kind of reducing the model size actually. Like it is like optimization only, model optimization. When the
Hmm.
model initially got trained, there would be some useless biases and useless weights actually. Like weights are too low, right? No use actually. Like weights we have seen that 0 to 1, 0 0.0, 0 0.3. If there are some weights with zero lower numbers like 0, 0.1, 0.3, those kind of weights biases can be removed in the pruning process, model pruning process. It is like cleaning up the model actually, like applying some techniques to remove the unused structured data, unused weights, unused biases and all from the model. That process is actually called model pruning. Okay, these are all model optimization techniques. Why we have to do all of these? Because we should be able to run the models on the lower configurations also, like laptops, mobiles in the future. we should be able to run from mobile also directly. Okay, open mobile and launch the LLM. Actually, that is the plan. I mean, people the research is going on actually to rate. Initially, the model sizes were very used, but now model sizes have been reduced actually with 2 GB models, 1 GB model. Still, they are going to reduce actually with all these techniques. Okay, so yeah, these are the, I mean, the key topics on the fine tuning, so which we have covered. Now we will talk about RAG. This is the most important topic actually in the AI world. What do you know about RAG? First time you are hearing about this word, or in the you guys did any study or any understanding on what is RAG?
We heard about the word, but not clear what is exact.
Huh, okay.
Retrieval augmented generation, basically
Yeah.
giving knowledge from external source, right? The
Hmm.
model
Hmm.
doesn't know it, but it give
Hmm.
allowing it to access external data
Yeah. Yes.
and then respond based on that. Use
Yes.
the
So
reasoning.
access the external database or base data also, and along with that, it fine tunes the data and gives better performance, right? Better results, accurate results.
Hmm.
You know, tell
Accurate results. Yeah.
accurate results,
So yes, yes,
more
yeah,
relevant response.
yeah, yeah. More relevant and um,
Without
uh,
having to train
without
continuously.
hallucinations actually. LLM
Uh,
mainly
Hallucinations. Yeah.
gives responses based on hallucinations, right? Like if that doesn't know answer, also it gives some nonsense answer sometimes. People,
confident.
huh. So recently they released GPT-5, right? In that that has
Mm.
been improved. Okay, if that doesn't know, it is telling I don't know. Okay, that is really good thing. So
Mm.
still, I mean, OpenAI, they have been doing a research and progressing a lot actually on AI side. But yeah, with GPT-5, many things are there actually. Okay, many advanced improvements are there from previous versions. This hallucination is one of them. They controlled actually. Now it gives smart answers and it works fast. Many advances are there. It works with some research data also, like some medical and all things are they integrated. I mean, in
Mm.
medical industry, it is doing, study and research on the data which is provided. The previous models were not able to do, but now GPT-5 is doing. Okay,
Okay.
so
సో అంటే ఇంతకుముందు ఇప్పుడు జీపీ ఇప్పుడు ఈ కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు వీళ్ళందరూ వెర్షన్స్ రిలీజ్ చేసినప్పుడు
mm,
నువ్వు ఫస్ట్ లో చెప్పావు చూడు,
mm,
ఒక మోడల్
mm,
పర్టికులర్ డేట్ కి అప్డేట్ అయినప్పుడు ఆ
mm,
డేట్ వరకు ఉన్న ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకుంటది నాలెడ్జ్ బేస్
yeah,
నుంచి.
yeah,
సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ వెర్షన్ ఇప్పుడు GPT-5 వచ్చింది.
they will raise
సో నౌ ఇఫ్ యు ఆస్క్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇట్ విల్
uh,
గివ్ ద అప్ టు డేట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్,
yeah,
రైట్?
yeah, yes,
సో
yes,
దట్స్
yeah,
వాట్ దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్.
yes,
యా.
yes, yeah. It gives
ఓకే.
it gives latest and not only that, more advanced. They
More advanced. Along with that, there are some like from base versions, they're like fine tuning or adding some other techniques
hmm,
to retrieve the information,
yeah,
accurate information, I think.
yes,
Mm.
okay, okay. So here, uh, now we understood fine tuning, and we did some basic fine tuning. Okay, and we know the problems with fine tuning, right? Main problem is infra cost, okay, and the effort. Okay, we for for training a small file, okay, with some two sentences only, it took a longer time, and there were some issues and all resolved, and then many, it's a big task actually. Okay, training is not easy, and so many, as I mentioned, many companies don't want to do training. Okay, so instead they want to do, I mean, they want to use some alternative approaches. So the alternative approach is actually RAG. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, so we will see what exactly this is. What is this actually? Basically, this is basically a technique, an advanced technique in AI world, basically in LLMs, where we can work with our own data with LLMs basically. Okay, so in our this is the solution for every organization. So that's why it is becoming popular, and many companies are adopting or implementing this technique. I mean, implementing chatbots using this technique to work with company data. Okay, so as as we know, my if you take LLM or any chat GPT or any, I mean, Gemini or anything, if you ask any questions related to your own data or your company data, it doesn't answer because it doesn't know, right? For example, uh, in the last quarter, I mean, if the most of the companies don't publish, right, the results and all. If they publish, it is available on the net.
అదే
But if
ఆ
it is,
డేటా పబ్లిక్లీ అవైలబుల్ ఉంటే అది ఇస్తుంది మనకి యాక్చువల్గా
yeah,
చాట్ జీపీటీ.
yes,
అది
yes,
ప్రైవేట్, ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఒక కంపెనీ ఎంప్లాయీ డీటెయిల్స్ నేను చాట్ జీపీటీ అడిగిన అనుకో,
hmm,
మా కంపెనీ ఎంప్లాయీ పలానా ఎంప్లాయీ వాటి
hmm,
రోల్స్ ఏంటి రెస్పాన్స్
hmm,
అవి అడిగిన,
hmm.
అది అది ఇవ్వలేదు కదా
It would,
యాక్చువల్గా.
it won't give, it won't answer.
అవును.
No, for example,
ఇక్కడ మనం మళ్ళీ ఆ కంపెనీ రిలేటెడ్ డేటాబేస్ ని మనం సప్లై చేయాలి, దీనికి ఇన్పుట్
yes,
ఇవ్వాలి.
yes, yes, yeah.
ఓకే.
So, for example, uh, in in Q3, okay, in Q3 in your organization only, okay, the question is, so what are the technical trainings which are actually planned or proposed in Q3? If you ask that question, okay, you have a chatbot in your company organization. If that, doesn't have access to your company data, it doesn't answer, right? I don't know what is this. I mean, check with your company team or HR team or technical team to know about that, right? It will answer like that only, because LLMs don't know about the private data, which is basically organization data, right? So
అవును.
now how all companies will implement or develop some smart pods where they can work with company data and all, right? So I mean, if that is not feasible, why companies go and implement AI bots and all? No one does that. AI also, I mean, it won't boom like this, okay? Because the solution is there. Solution is there. That's why it is booming, and many organizations are actually building smart bots and by automating some operations actually from their organizations. Okay, so we will see what exactly it does and how to implement this. It has basically, people think like, no, it is very small thing actually, RAG, but it has many features, and it has I mean, many advanced techniques actually. Okay, so we will start with basics, and from now our focus actually should be in implementing RAG based applications or RAG based chatbots. Okay, once it is done, then we have to come to agentic actually. Agentic AI with RAG. It is basically, it will be a, I mean, very powerful chatbot which could work with own data, which could action, which could take the decisions automatically with agentic AI. It's a combination actually. Okay, if you combine all these technologies into a single application, we can build powerful AI applications actually. Okay, so now we'll start with AI, and then we'll come to agentic AI in the next sessions. So the basic architecture actually, I will quickly run through this one actually. In that, I mean, I already shared this one actually. I have prepared this for one of my presentations in our organization. uh,
గుడ్ వర్క్ బాగుంది.
it good
చదివాను
one. I
అయితే
have
మోస్ట్లీ
I have done a lot of research actually for
yeah.
doing this. It is for basics. It is really good presentation. I will quickly run through, and then we'll come back to the implementation actually. Okay. First, we have to understand this concept at core level actually. Okay. Only definitions and only some sample applications, they don't help us. So try to understand at the core level, and then focus on focus on this, and develop some applications, some real time applications. Okay, take some use cases and develop in this, using this. Then you will come to actually, I mean, the power of RAG. Okay, so here I will skip this part because we have already discussed actually what is LLM and all. Okay, and this slide actually talks about LLMs and its limitations. Okay, same thing. I mean, whatever we covered, we have discussed all are documented here. Not up to date, hallucinations. Okay, domain specific, and source citations and updates take long training time. Okay, this we have done already, and presenting false information when it doesn't have the answer. So these are the drawbacks in LLMs. If you don't have I mean latest data. These are all the problems which we cannot use it actually. Okay, now we'll directly jump into RAG. Okay, so retrieval augmented generation is basically it's an advanced techniques which we use in LLMs models. Okay, so here I will I mean this is some examples actually. I mean these are the some drawbacks basically which with LLMs which I have highlighted here. Why is retrieval? I mean RAG is important. Okay, so here in chartbot actually I have given this is our organization actually SGGSC Society General actually our company. What is the technical training calendar for Q3 in SGGSC? This is the question I asked the chatbot and it doesn't answer. I couldn't find because this training data is specific to my company. Public LLMs don't know about this. Okay, but still I would need in our organization I want to build a smart bot, that HR bot where users can, I mean employees can use it for knowing this information. Okay, training data and all, many people don't know, right? In every Q3 Q1 what trainings are happening and those people, many employees don't know. I mean even though information is there in internet portal, sometimes people don't know, I mean employees don't know. So this is one problem actually with LLM. And the right hand side, left hand side also same problem. I mean it was not able to answer. This is the drawback actually. Okay, so now I directly jump into the architecture. So here try to understand this, and if you understand this then implementation is easy. Okay, uh, so here here if you see uh, in the first step prompt plus query, right? So prompt plus query is actually just a minute. I'm connecting pen. Yeah. So here, okay. So if you see prompt plus query. Okay. So here prompt plus query is nothing but here, for example, I will ask the same question actually in the previous slide I have given, right? The organization question. What is the technical training calendar for Q3 in SGGSC? Okay. If I ask this question, the question is actually the input which is actually given by the user. Okay, that is the query. What is the input? What is the training calendar or Q3 training calendar in that organization? Okay, that is the query. So here what is the prompt within the chatbot application? Prompt is basically here basically a set of instructions which are given to the model, basically LLM, to generate the response. Okay, that is what prompt. Okay, but here in chat GPT or Gemini or wherever you chatbot, right, whatever user enters, that itself is not a prompt. Okay, we have to understand that that itself is not a prompt, that itself is basically a question or a query. Okay, so the inside the chatbot application, there are some instructions. Okay, there are some instructions which are given as a prompt. So that is actually prompt. Okay, in the instruction, what we will give is normally you are an intelligent AI smart bot. Your role is to answer the questions. I mean whatever user is giving with this with this and with this context and I mean with the actual context which is given by the system whatever. Okay, so the basic instruction which is actually there in the application itself actually, okay, that is actually prompt. Whatever user actually gives in the chatbot window, that itself is not a prompt. Okay, don't misunderstand. That information will be integrated with the some instructions, special instructions. The whole thing actually will call as a prompt. I mean when it goes to LLM actually includes the prompt plus the query which user has actually asked. Okay, that is the one.
సో ప్రీవియస్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కానీ అలాంటి కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఏమన్నా అంటావా అదంతా కూడా వెళ్తుంది
Yes,
అవునా?
yes. So that is what actually prompt plus query means. So prompt plus query here, this is I mean this is your actually, this is actually your chatbot. Okay, This is your chatbot application. In chatbot application, the prompt and query will be given here. So this application is basically a RAG based application, right? Your application actually knows whether it is a RAG based or it is a straightforward question and answer bot. Okay, if it is a RAG based, it has a special logic. Actually, it has a special logic. What it does is, this here this application actually will be implemented using, normally we will use LangChain. Actually, LangChain is basically a Python library which is used to build smart bots, right? Which is used to build smart bots. This framework actually knows whether the whether the query is, I mean, whether this application is based on RAG based or a straightforward LLM. If it is a straightforward LLM, this prompt directly goes to LLM. LLM actually uses its knowledge and generates the response and gives back to the client. That is how the question and answer chatbot works. But here, this is also question and answer chatbot only, but it is basically a specialized system. Basically, it is a, I mean, it is actually based on, it is actually implemented on RAG pipeline or RAG framework. So in that case, actually, what this system does is, I mean, what this application, the inside LangChain framework, what it does is, okay, it is RAG based. So whatever user has asked that query, right? That query will be sent to another component called here the RAG pipeline actually. Okay, so this query, what internally the question, right? The question actually, the query will be again here. What happens is the query will be converted into again tokens. Okay, tokens. Again from tokens, it will be converted into embeddings. Okay, it will be converted into embeddings because vector database works with only embeddings. Okay, vector here. This is, I mean, embeddings we already talked about, right? Embeddings are basically a vector representation of floating point numbers for this data text, I mean the human text actually, whatever we see here. So this will be converted into embeddings. Okay, embedding vector. And here there is a data source actually, that is actually called knowledge source. Here knowledge source is actually what? Here knowledge source is actually called here vector database. Okay, vector database. Vector database, again we have to understand about vector database as well actually here. So
ఇది
here,
ఇది ట్రైనింగ్ డేటా అవుతుందా? నాలెడ్జ్ సోర్స్ అంటే ట్రైనింగ్ డేటానా?
no, not training data. Here, what it, I mean, here before querying this information, I mean, before asking this prompt actually, we have to prepare this data source actually. Here, the knowledge source actually. Knowledge source is actually nothing but, for example, Prasad has given an example, right? Here, Prasad has some own data, company data, okay, in the form of CSV or in the form of whatever, some text is there actually, some 1 GB data is there actually here. Okay, or 10 MB or 100 MB data, something is there here. It could be anything actually. It could be PDF, or it could be any format of text here. It is in the form of data. Okay, it could be images also, it could be text, video also, it could be,
Can it be a normal database?
it could be RDBMS also. Okay,
No,
this
మనం వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ అంటున్నాం, అక్కడ వెక్టర్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలా మరి?
yeah, we have to do this RDBMS. We have a separate technique actually, like to work with RDBMS is, we have to take this schema, and the schema we have to put here, and it will generate in SQL actually. With this knowledge, that SQL we have to pass it to code to trigger that query from the database, and that data you can pass it to LLM and then use it. It's a, I mean, big technique, I mean, big process
సో
actually.
ఇప్పుడు హౌ ఫ్రీక్వెంట్లీ do we update that vector database?
That depends on your use case. If it is real time, you can update in real time also. If it is weekly, you can create a batch
ఎంత
job.
టైం పడుతుంది రియల్ టైమ్ ఒక నార్మల్ ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ డేటాబేస్ ని? అంటే ఎప్పటికప్పుడు వచ్చేసి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆడిట్ లాగ్స్ అనుకో, ఇట్స్ గుడ్ కేస్, యూజ్ కేస్ కదా, ఆడిట్ లాగ్స్.
Audit logs, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll be asking, who is the person who accessed a particular system in the last 24 hours? So for that it needs real time,
Yeah.
till maybe last 1 minute వరకు జరిగిన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా.
Yes.
So which who or what triggers converting that data into
that
database?
you have to build here. here you don't have any specific, I mean, approach and all. That depends on case to
Okay.
case. So for example, you have a web application here. Okay, your web application is running here. It is on the application server. Logs are there. Okay, logs are, you have to build a chain here. You have to write a streaming application whatever, and read the log files, and here generate the embeddings, and store it in this vector database.
Okay.
This
Okay.
pipeline we
అది
have to build.
incremental vector database
Vector
ఉంటుందా?
incremental, yeah, incremental.
Okay. So
It is.
as the new data comes, you can convert it into vectors and
It is an ongoing
append
process.
it to.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can do that.
సో ఈ పాయింట్ దాకా అసలు LLM టచ్ అవ్వలేదు మనకి కదా.
LLM టచ్
ఈ
అవ్వలేదు,
process లో
కానీ మోడల్, ఇక్కడ మోడల్ యూజ్ అవుతుంది యాక్చువల్గా. అంటే
అదే ఆ డేటాను మళ్ళీ వెనక్కి తీసుకొచ్చి మళ్ళీ ఆ డేటాని కూడా నీకు చార్ట్ అప్లికేషన్ LLMకి ఇచ్చి ఇప్పుడు నీకు కావాల్సిన ఫార్మాట్ గురించి రీజనింగ్ ఏమైనా కావాలంటే అప్లై చేస్తావు. ఈ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ ప్రకారం అయితే
ఫస్ట్ yes. So first we will take that FAQ example. Okay, you have first we'll start with static data, then we'll come to real time data. Okay, we should not mix both, actually we'll get confused. We have FAQ data. Okay, you created a PDF file. Okay, PDF file, data is here. It is actually a 10 MB file. Okay, so to create vectors for this data, what we have to do is, here you have to write a, I mean, there are existing modules also there actually. We have to write a PDF parser in Python, read the PDF. Okay, read the PDF, and this PDF has I mean, there's a text, right? I mean, in the form of sentences and paragraphs and all, right? That text we have to convert into tokens. Okay, so tokens are, again we discussed right in the first session, tokens are not, I mean, it's not like not with space also. I mean, they have some tokenizing algorithms actually based on the for example, a text is how are you, right? How are you? This how many tokens are there? How could be one token and space, or one token, you one token, the question mark another token? It could be 4 or 5 tokens. We cannot exactly tell that how many tokens, because that depends on which token algorithm, tokenizer algorithm we are using. Okay, so I mean, just giving an example, but yeah, so the whole text actually should be converted into first tokens. Okay, read line by line or whatever stream, whatever, do tokenization first. Once the tokens are created, okay, tokens are created for the token, I mean, for these tokens actually we have to create embeddings. Okay, embeddings. So here in this text actually, I mean, there is a word called how. Okay, how cannot directly go into vector database, right? How is a token. For how token we have to create an embedding. What is an embedding? Embedding basically an array, right? Here in array with some numbers, right? 0.9 or 0.7, whatever some significance is there. This is basically a vector for how this vector, once vector is generated, this vector can be stored here, I mean, inside the vector database. Here vector database, here there are some very popular vector databases are there. I mean, we could choose, based on our need actually. Okay, our application is really I mean, you are looking for scalability, there are vector databases. Okay, Melvus is there, Chroma is there, Facebook FAISS is there. FAISS is Facebook AI similarity search. This is also vector database. Okay, there are many. I mean, Quadrant is there. Many are there. We'll see types of databases actually. But all vector database work in this similar way. But some are good for performance, some are good for scalability, some are good for use data and all, actually high intensive data and all, whatever. Okay. So here, now come to your question. From tokens to create embeddings, again we would need an embedding model. Okay, so here the model comes into the picture, but the embedding model and LLM are not the same. Actually, model embeddings are also models which will be used for converting your tokens into embedding vectors, and used for I mean, storing in vector databases, and inside LLM also all embeddings only, right? the vector actually goes, I mean, the everything what, I mean, in the general context also, in ChatGPT, if you give a prompt, right, your prompt will be converted into tokens will be converted into vector embeddings will go to LLM inside also all vectors only, I mean, I mean, sorry, yeah, LLM understands only vectors, numbers only, I mean, the weights and all in numbers only, right? So inside LLM everything is, I mean, everything is actually an embedding, and all numbers only, all calculations only inside LLM. LLM doesn't understand natural language, right? It doesn't understand English text or any text. Whichever language you give, everything will be converted into embedding, and embedding only. But this embeddings, internally it maintains that relation actually. That is actually called semantic relation. Semantic relation is basically the relation among the words. Okay, if you give
మల్టీ డైమెన్షనల్ ఇవి
uh,
ఉండాలి కూడా, చాలా మల్టీ డైమెన్షనల్ ఉండాలి.
yeah, multidimensional arrays, multidimensional vectors. These are actually space vectors actually, like, I mean, high dimensional space vectors. Okay, so yeah, but here the important point is, to create embeddings also we would need a model that is actually called embedding model. So I mean, when we your LLM is Gemini, right? Okay, Gemini also released some embedding models. Okay, so I mean, I will show you the code, you will understand. But here at a high level, you can understand there are some embedding models which are developed by, I mean, Google. We have to use those embedding models to convert your tokens into embeddings. Okay, this is all data preparation actually. Before building any RAG, your first step is actually prepare the data source, basically knowledge source. Knowledge source, it is not straightforward, right? You cannot just extract PDF and put it here. No, we have to extract and convert them into tokens. From tokens generate embeddings. To generate embeddings we have to use embedding model. uh, Once this embedding model actually generates all your converts all your tokens into vectors. Vectors are actually your I mean, floating point numbers actually, I mean, array of floating point numbers which has some significance. Okay, which has these vectors will have again, it will store semantic relation, okay, and similarity information, uh, and I mean opposite, I mean, like antonyms and all, like, I mean, the relations among the sentences, relation among the words, everything will be there in the form of vectors, that will be there inside, your vector database. So once the data is once we store the vectors here, okay, this is all vectors. This supports, incremental generation also, I mean, incrementally it can add to the existing vectors for the real time purpose. Okay, so once everything is, I mean, once the content is generated, I mean, once the data preparation is done, and everything is vector DB is ready. Once vector DB is ready, then you will build an application here, RAG application actually, to do that, I mean, to work with that. Okay,
సో ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంతట్లోని మాన్యువల్ వర్క్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది? నీకు
manual work,
ఒక పీడిఎఫ్ నుంచి వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ కి
no manual work, it's code only, we just need to run
స్ట్రక్చర్ దానికి అర్థమయ్యేలా చెప్పాలా?
no need to do that. No, here you will write an application here. Okay, here you will write an application. Inside application you will create a folder called PDF. Inside PDF folder you will place the files, and there is a Python code, you will run that. That code actually does everything, and create vectors here.
సో అది పీడిఎఫ్ అవ్వచ్చా? ఏ ఫార్మాట్?
Yes, it supports everything actually. PDF is
అండ్ అది
all unstructured, all
unstructured.
file
Yeah, you can give image also. You can give image also.
ఒక వెబ్సైట్ అడ్రస్ ఇస్తే ఏమన్నా తెచ్చుకునే ఇది కూడా ఉంటుందా?
Okay, you have to write a web scraper here. You have to write a code here. You have to write a web scraper. It is a
websites, PDF files.
it will fetch the code and give it to your tokenizer. Tokenizer will create embeddings. Embeddings will be stored. Anything can be done here.
సో ఈ
సో అన్లేబుల్ డేటా ఏదైనా, ఏ డేటా అయినా వితౌట్ లేబులింగ్ మనం సప్లై చేయొచ్చు.
సో ఇప్పుడు క్వెరీ చేసి తెచ్చే టైంకే నీకంతా వెక్టర్ లోనే ఉండాలి ఎప్పుడు.
That's what it should.
డైరెక్ట్ గా అప్పటికప్పుడు ఒక పబ్లిక్ సోర్స్ నుంచి తెచ్చుకోమని చెప్తే తెచ్చుకోలేదా? LLM ఏది కూడా అలా వర్క్ అవుతుందా అవుదా?
పబ్లిక్ సోర్స్ నుంచి తెచ్చుకోవడం, దట్ ఈస్ అనదర్ కాన్సెప్ట్. ఏజెంట్, వీ కెన్
ఓకే.
రైట్ అన్ ఏజెంట్ అండ్ వీ కెన్ కనెక్ట్ అండ్ దెన్ గెట్ ఇట్.
ఓకే.
దట్ ఈస్
ఓకే.
వర్కింగ్ విత్ ఏజెంట్ అండ్
ఓన్ కంపెనీ డేటాబేస్ నుంచి మనం రిట్రీవ్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా ఇక్కడ నాలెడ్జ్ బేస్ అంటే.
యా యా యా. సో here we have to understand the difference between working with files and for example, in chat gpt or in google gemini, there is an option to attach files also, right? You can attach an image or you can give a pdf.
అదే నువ్వు ఒక పీడిఎఫ్ ఫైల్ గట్టి అటాచ్ చేసి ఇస్తే క్వశ్చన్ అడిగితే ఆ ఫైల్ రీడ్ చేసి అది ఆల్రెడీ జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది output మనకి.
You can give a pdf and you can ask some questions on top of pdf actually, what I mean. But this itself is not a rag actually, okay? There is a huge difference between this and this in this context it knows about only pdf and it doesn't know more than that, okay? But here we'll add more knowledge here, and that it is completely different actually, that's what I'm telling. So but we'll see, okay? Uploading pdfs into chatbot and this is not the same, that is the point. Rag is not the same. Rag has, I mean, it has a special, it has some additional advantages, and it will address more complex problems actually, like when we work with whole, I mean, custom data, okay? So
సో
this
ఇక్కడ నువ్వు కంపెనీ డేటాబేస్ అడిగి నాలెడ్జ్ బేస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన ఫస్ట్ టైం రిలవెంట్ రెస్పాన్స్ ని ఇక్కడ నువ్వు మళ్ళీ LLM కి పాస్ చేస్తున్నావు మనము.
yeah, we will come to the next step here. So yeah, till here it is clear for you. In vector data,
వెక్టర్ అప్డేట్ చేసేది క్వరీతోనా లేకపోతే
no, it's don't think like rdbms here, no schema, nothing, it is just
నేను చెప్పేది అంటే ప్రాంప్ట్ ప్లస్ క్వరీతో అప్డేట్ అవుతుంటుంది. ఎలా అప్డేట్ అవుతుంది వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ అనేది?
no, forget about the first part. That's what here I have given example, right? Prasad has a 10 MB pdf file.
ఇది స్టాటిక్, ఇది ఇట్ డజంట్ డిపెండ్ ఆన్ ద క్వెరీ.
It doesn't depend on the prompt. This is data knowledge actually.
ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తున్నాడు అతను. డేటా ఆల్రెడీ నీ దగ్గర ఉన్న పీడిఎఫ్ గానీ ఏదైనా సోర్స్ ని కన్వర్ట్ చేసి వెక్టర్ కింద పెట్టుకున్న తర్వాతే ఈ వర్క్ అంతా జరుగుతుంది.
Yes. This is nothing to do with this part, okay? Leave this part. We are working on only data preparation.
స్టాటిక్
ర్యాగ్ అంటే స్మాల్ డైజ్ వెళ్ళాలమ్మా?
No.
ఇట్స్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్, ఈ వే ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ దిస్ థింగ్ కదా.
You will understand slowly.
Yes.
So no, till here it is clear or not? In vector database, we have all the vectors, okay, for that so data, whatever 10 MB file, whatever we are talking about here, okay? So this information is actually our own data, basically custom data, which is not available in the public domain, and which is not available, which LLM also doesn't know. LLM doesn't know only, that's why we are building all these, right, to address the to solve the problem. Yeah. So this is done. This is actually the first step actually to prepare to implement any RAG based application. First we have to work on the knowledge source, basically the source of the data, okay? The vector database preparation. For this we have to build a pipeline actually, like here we, in this example we are using a 10 MB static file, but it could be real time. There are many ways actually, like from websites we can scrap it and send it. From relational database we can do that. Relational database it has a separate solution actually. This is interesting. I mean, we will talk about rdbms also. Last time Anupama, she arranged a call with me actually. They had one use case actually on this rdbms. We'll talk about that use case, that is interesting. She is working in where this what is that, Facebook, Walmart, yeah, Walmart actually. She's working in Walmart, so that is really very interesting use case. We'll talk about that, okay? I mean, we discussed and I suggested the solution actually. Okay. So okay, now vectors are ready. Time is okay now. We didn't see time only.
Yeah.
We'll in half an hour we'll wind it up. I think you guys are continuously taking. Okay. So now come back to the question actually. Yeah, here now we'll come to prompt plus query. Here now our data source is ready. Okay, data source is ready here, and now I can start asking the questions which are related with my data. Okay, now like specific answers, like now I will take an example, same only. What are my trainings in Q3? Okay, I already provided the data here in the form of vectors. Okay, data is already here. So what are my Q3 trainings here? But my prompt is, okay, the previous prompt only. What are my Q3 trainings? Okay, in my organization, this is the question query. So here this application actually, what it, I mean, this is our smart bot application which we built, right, using this LangChain framework. Okay, so what it does is, it, that is the query, I mean, what the actual, you should understand the difference between the prompt and query. Okay, don't get confused. The query is the one which user has entered in the chatbot. That itself is not a prompt. Prompt will be built inside the code actually. Okay, behind the scenes. See,
Mm.
sometimes if chatbot, if you ask, hi also responds, hello also responds, and if you type something else also it will respond. How that is responding? How does it know hi and hello? Internally the prompt will be built like that. Okay, there will be a dynamic prompt which takes the query and which will be embedded inside the prompt. That actually goes to LLM to answer that actually. Okay, so
Mm.
yeah, that is the difference actually, prompt and query. Yeah, here the query actually, the again same process here also actually. The query, what this internally the code is does, the code does is, the query will be again uh, converted into tokens and converted into embedding vector. That is actually called embedding. This vector is actually called the question vector. The question vector. Okay, the question vector actually here, this question vector actually comes here and it hits this vector database. So one main advantage of this vector database is actually search capability, which has inbuilt search capability. Okay, we do, I mean, in relational database and all we write queries, right? The select sort from tables and joins and all, right? We write queries to
Mm.
fetch the data. But in vector database we need not write the queries, but it has inbuilt mechanism or inbuilt implementation of searching capabilities. Okay, so here there is a technique called similarity search. Okay, similar, there are many techniques, but similarity search is a widely used technique which is integrated into vector databases. Okay, what does it mean by similarity search? Similarity search is basically when you write a select query, select star from this table, where this table, it gives the exact answer, right, exact output from that select query. Okay, similarity search is not like that. Similarity search is basically, this has lot of information. When you query something from the vector database, what internally does is, it maintains vectors, and vectors has internally, it uses some algorithms and all to fetch the data. Okay, which will internally, I mean, the common algorithms actually, Euclidean distance we have studied, right? Euclidean distance between 2 points. You have point A, you
Mm.
have point B. The distance between point A to point B, there is a formula, right? Euclidean distance. Okay, so I mean, those are also there inside similarity search implementation, and internally it will use then the Euclidean distance and uh, i- internal product,
Mm.
product calculation, like vector into it will multiply vector, and if it is a positive result, and then there is there is some significance. If there is a negative, some
Mm.
significance and all. Okay, inner product algorithm, actually inner product calculation. So internally vector database uses all of them, and it actually gives I mean, it actually uses a similarity search algorithm, which actually, what actually does is, if you ask some question, like, okay, for example, last time I told you one example, right? What is the capital of France? Okay, here it might have different answers. The Paris is there, and some other capitals also there, Rome and also there, and Sydney also there, something else there. So when the question comes, right, it will actually search for similar data in the vector database. It might return multiple results. Okay, like result, it will do ranking and like top ranking, second ranking, and third ranking. Like, basically we can configure this. Okay, we can return top 3 results from the vector database. That is actually the k value. I mean, k value we can specify. If you specify k equal to 3, top 3 similar results. Okay, what are the similar? I mean, I think what is the capital of France is not a right question. Similar results are like um, what are uh, what is the correct prompt? Similar results.
What are the flights from Delhi to Canada or something like that?
Multiple, yeah, that also
Mm,
will return multiple, but
mm.
it is like I mean text based. I want to give like for what are uh, what are the uses of some medicine. Okay, medicine. There could be many uses. There could be 100 uses, or there could be 10 uses also, right? That the most top uses actually will be returned. Actually, the most top similar results to the question. Actually, I mean, what are the advantages of kerosene tablet? Okay, the top three. There could be 10 advantages, 10 features, but the top three similar results will be returned, and those will be, yeah, this vector database actually returns those top three results. Okay, so those top three results will be here. What it I mean, top three results will be returned. Yeah, in the same example, we'll take what are the
So you mean
Q3.
to say it will generate the top 3 ranking
Yeah,
like
it,
that?
it it does the ranking to return that top three matchings, similar results.
Okay.
Internally does the ranking also. Yeah, it does the ranking and returns the top three similar. No, you understood now what is similarity search. Similarity search is basically, it is not the exact result, similar results to
Similar.
the
How close something is
how
compared to
close.
other.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I think
So
హ్యూమన్ బ్రెయిన్ ఆల్సో అలాగే వర్క్
we
చేస్తుంది.
will also filter like that only, right? Most suitable or most similar to that question, related to
రిలేటెడ్
the question.
ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్.
Yeah, that is actually called similarity search. Okay, internally there are algorithms also. Knn also will be used. K nearest neighbor, K nearest neighbor. These are ML algorithms actually. Okay, we'll talk about these ML algorithms separately, but yeah. So now you understood. I mean, the Euclidean distance and inner product, and based on using those different techniques, actually, it will return top three similar results. Okay, so here in this example, we will continue this example only. So what are the Q3 trainings in my organization? So this has it has Q1 results, Q1 trainings also there, Q3 trainings also there, Q3 also there, Q3 for last year also there, right? Q3 for I didn't mention year, right here. Q3 Q3 trainings for 2025 or 2024 I didn't mention. I think this is the right example for similarity search. Okay, Q3 results for, I mean, Q3 trainings for in my organization. What it does is, in vector database we have last year data also, Q3 trainings 2024, Q3 trainings 2025. So in this case it will return Q3 trainings and Q3 trainings 2025 also. Okay, so it will go here. I mean, those will be top three results. Okay, so here what it does is, I mean, in the incoming flow, this query will be converted into query vector, right? Query vector. This query vector actually does search on the vector database. Okay, so now query vector is there, and the response from these three are there, right? I mean, top three results there, right? The top three results are actually called relevant information for enhanced context. Okay, this is what, I mean, the result from vector database. The top three results actually, basically, it's an additional information for the query which user has asked. Okay, what are our Q3 trainings in our organization? That is what relevant information for enhanced context. Okay, this is very very important. That is actually step three. Okay,
అదే
so
తెచ్చుకుంటున్నాం, అదే తెచ్చుకొని ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళాలని ఇస్తాం అంతే
yes,
కదా.
yes, it comes here. It comes to this
సో యు
application.
ఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇన్ ఎల్ఎల్ఎం కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో చూడాలనుకుంటే యువర్ ప్రాంప్ట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ కంప్లీటెడ్. యువర్ ప్రాంప్ట్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది ఇదంతా నాకు తెలిసి.
Yeah, here,
దిస్
yes.
ఆల్ ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఈ రెస్పాన్స్ బికమ్స్ ద పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాంప్ట్, అండ్ ఆల్ దిస్ ఈస్ ఫెడ్ టు ఎల్ఎల్ఎం అగైన్ టు మేక్ యూజ్ ఇట్స్ రీజనింగ్ అండ్ ఎలా జనరేట్ చేయాలి అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్ బట్టి వాట్ హౌ వేరు ఏం అడిగేవన్న దాన్ని బట్టి దాన్ని కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తాం.
Yeah. So here step number 4 you see here, this is very important actually. In step number 4 you have prompt, you have query, you have enhanced context. Okay, so now this is clear, right? Prompt is an additional information, basically additional instructions actually, and query is actually the one which the direct question actually from the user, and the enhanced context actually the top 3 results from the vector database, right? All 3 will be combined as a prompt. I mean it's like to llm I mean this all will go as an independent only, but internally we could say the whole thing is basically, I mean the concatenated prompt. Okay, that we can say.
ఇక్కడ ఈ ఎన్హాన్స్డ్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ పెద్దది కూడా అవుతుంది కదా, చాలా పెద్ద అవ్వచ్చా లేదంటే ఏంటి? ఎందుకంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద యావరేజ్ సాలరీ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఇన్ మై కంపెనీ అని.
It could be big also. Yes, big also.
సో ఎందుకంటే యావరేజ్ కావాలనుకుంటే అందరి ఎంప్లాయీస్ శాలరీ కావాలి. అందరి ఎంప్లాయీస్ శాలరీ వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో యావరేజ్ అన్నప్పుడు క్యాల్కులేషన్ చేయదు కదా, అది సెర్చ్ చేస్తుంది. కాబట్టి
to address that kind of problem we will handle it separately. RDBMS we will have data in TBs, right? TB 1 TB, some organization 10 TB also, right? We cannot put these 10 TB into vector data. It will crash. It will crash. It will crash actually. Maximum recommended size of vector database is actually 500 GB. Up to 500 GB is allowed actually. More than 500 GB, I mean we should not put everything in vector database and screw up the system actually. So there is a separate solution for that. There is a separate solution for RDBMS. RDBMS will handle separate.
It's a different one.
RDBMS will handle separately. So
unless it's part of the static base. The question itself for the what is the revenue for last quarter annam anko. Maybe it gets all the revenue for quarters and then LLM will decide last entry from where it is last.
Okay. So till here it is clear, right? Now you got everything. You in the first step we prepared a vector database. In the second step we prepared a RAG application. We implemented a RAG application where it can connect to vector database and get the contextual information, basically a relevant information for enhanced context. Context is basically, see, LLMs work on context only. Okay, if you don't give the right context it won't answer. So context is very important. Context is basically what exactly you're asking. Okay, I'm asking, okay, Q3, what are the Q3 trainings, but what are where are the information is not there in LLM, right? LLM doesn't know this. So that additional context actually we are providing through RAG framework. Basically with this RAG approach we are doing this. With all these steps we are doing that actually. Okay, so here once everything is ready here, right, in the application, all these 3 will be actually what happened.
Prompt plus query plus enhanced context ని ఇస్తున్నావు నువ్వు.
సో ఎన్హాన్స్డ్ ఇప్పుడు అదే రెస్పాన్స్ మన నాలెడ్జ్ బేస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన రెస్పాన్స్ రిట్రీవల్ కి అది ఓన్లీ టెక్స్టేనా లేదంటే డాక్యుమెంట్స్ కూడా అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చా? వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అయినా అవ్వచ్చా LLM సప్లై చేసే? మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు టాప్ 3 నాకు ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్స్ అది ఇన్పుట్ మళ్ళీ రిట్రీవల్ అయినాయి అనుకో, రిట్రీవర్ నుంచి అది నేను ఇన్పుట్ కింద ఎన్కోడ్ చేసి మళ్ళీ దీనికి సప్లై చేయడానికి అవుతుందా? కొన్ని పెద్ద క్వరీస్ ఉన్నాయి అనుకో, అప్పుడు నేను అదే దాంట్ నుంచి ఎగ్జాక్ట్ టెక్స్ట్ ని రిట్రీవల్ చేయలేకుండా ఒక ఏదైతే నేను వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ లో పెట్టాను డాక్యుమెంట్స్, అవే డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ని యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈజ్ గా నువ్వు LLM కి సప్లై చేయడానికి అయితే అది రిట్రీవ్ చేసి మనకి యాక్యురేట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇవ్వడానికి అవుతుందా?
No.
ఓన్లీ
That-
టెక్స్టే ఇస్తుందా?
I don't think it knows anything. ఒక వెక్టరే ఉంటుంది అనుకుంటున్నాను నేను అక్కడ. అంతే కదా. వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ లో
ఇంకా డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఏమి ఉండవు, ఓన్లీ డేటా ఉంటుంది అంటావా వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ లో?
వెక్టర్స్ నంబర్స్ లోకి
ఆల్రెడీ
only vector. No, in vector means it is.
నాయుడు నువ్వు మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నావు, లేదంటే ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది.
Okay, just a minute.
can't hear you.
Just a minute.
ఏదో చేసావు, హెడ్సెట్ పెట్టావా కొత్తగా?
Just a minute. It got stuck.
Hello.
Hello. Just a minute.
And also another question. It only retrieves only 3 rankings or more than 3?
More than also.
I think it's configurable అయి ఉంటుంది usually.
What happened? Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Some issue, I think. Okay. Screen you are able to see, right? K is configurable, okay. You can give more also, but it really doesn't make sense actually. Like if you give top 10, it will go all 10.
Okay.
Okay, just a minute. My screen sharing gone, just a minute. PPT gone actually.
సో ద ఫైనల్ రెస్పాన్స్ ఆర్ అవుట్పుట్ జనరేట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు యూజర్ కి సో ఈ వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన డేటా అవుట్పుట్ ప్లస్ యూజర్ క్వెరీ ఆర్ ప్రాంప్ట్ బేస్ అండ్ సో ఇవన్నీ ఇన్పుట్ అవుతాయి ఎల్ఎల్ఎం కి, అంతే కదా. అవన్నీ అయ్యి ఫైనల్ అవుట్పుట్ అనేది యాక్యురేట్ ది ఆర్ సమ్మరీ ఆఫ్ ది రిజల్ట్స్ ఎల్ఎల్ఎం జనరేట్ చేసి అది ఫైనల్ గా మళ్ళీ చాట్ బాట్ మీద డిస్ప్లే చేస్తుంది యూజర్, అంతేనా. సో ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ నువ్వు ఆ రీడైరెక్షన్ చేసినప్పుడు 4th స్టెప్ లో మళ్ళీ అది చాట్ బాట్ కిందకి వెళ్తుంది. అది వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన డేటా అది యూజర్ కనిపించకూడదు కదా, అప్లికేషన్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తుంది అదే అంటున్నా. అవును, నీ యాప్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తుంది, అంతే కదా. వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ నుంచి వచ్చిన అవుట్పుట్ ఓకే నీ అప్లికేషన్ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తుంది.
Now we have the prompt query and enhanced context and it goes to LLM. Okay. Now LLM actually uses its knowledge. Okay. So what it does is in this context. Okay. If you see, we have given. Basically from vector database, Q3 2025 trainings also went. Q3 2024 trainings also went. Okay. So here LLM should use its knowledge to give only 2025 because I'm talking about Q3 trainings. Q3 is actually this year Q3, right? So it might give also if then that is wrong answer actually. Again we have to work with that. Okay. Then there is no problem.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు నీ క్వశ్చన్ కరెక్ట్ గా లేకపోతే నువ్వు జస్ట్ Q3 ఐ వాంట్ Q3 రిజల్ట్స్ అని అనేసావు, ఇయర్ ఏం మెన్షన్ చేయలేదు. అప్పుడు అది ఆ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి మరి ఎల్ఎల్ఎం కి ఎలాగ అండర్స్టాండ్ అవుతుంది? లాస్ట్ ఇయరా నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ ఏ ఇయర్ అనేది తెలియదు కదా దానికి.
మోస్ట్ రెలెవెంట్
only Q3
దానికి.
For me it should give Q3 only. If gives that Q4 also it is wrong actually, right? That's why LLM response we cannot say 100%, right? But our expectation is
నీ క్వెరీ నీ ప్రాంప్ట్ ఎంత యాక్యురేట్ గా ఉంటే అంత యాక్యురేట్ గా రెస్పాన్స్, అంతే.
in those cases, actually, our prompt should be enhanced here. If user asks like that, in your prompt is the most recent or the most relevant information only fetch. Right?
Okay.
You have to put it in the prompt. Okay? Now LLM, it goes to LLM, and again, so here I'm telling all these three will be again, it will be translated into embeddings only. Okay? At LLM level, everything is in embedding, no text.
Mm.
So it's all numbers here inside again. Again, what it does is, based on this information, in neural networks we discussed it, right? Neural networks we discussed, right? In neural networks, again, it goes to as an input, it will predict, and it will do backward propagation, and again, gives the response, and then finally, yeah. So now here in the entire RAG framework, the retrieval is happening here. Okay, this is actually
Mm.
retrieval. Okay, and
Mm.
inside LLM, that augmentation is happening.
Augmentation.
Augmentation means it is enhancing, enhancing the
అవును.
information, enhancing the data is actually called augmentation. Okay,
Mm.
so here what LLM does is LLM actually uses the enhanced context and user query, basically query and prompt. Based on that, it will enhance the response. That is actually before generating the response, it will do the augmentation first. Okay, it will do the augmentation. Basically, it will enhance the response, and finally it will generate the final response actually. Okay, the final response actually will be written to the user. Here, user will see only
Mm.
response, but whatever we discussed,
అదే.
right, these are all behind the scenes.
ఆ.
Okay,
ఇక్కడ
so
జనరేటర్ రెస్పాన్స్ జనరేట్ చేస్తారన్నమాట ఈ ఎన్హాన్స్డ్ రెస్పాన్స్.
so this is actually called retrieval augmented generation. Augmented generation anyway it is there. LLM does generation only, right?
అవును.
So LLM, by default, LLM's capability is to generate the text, right?
అవుట్పుట్.
So on top of before generation, we are doing this augmentation and this retrieval. So all these three actually called retrieval augmented generation. That is actually RAG. So this is the power of, basically, what RAG does is RAG adds power to LLM to work with our own data. That is the goal actually. Okay, RAG basically allows, or works with LLMs with our own data, basically the custom data. With this, basically, indirectly LLM actually uses this RAG and this data from the vector DB. Okay,
సో
so
But
ఇప్పుడు
how
ఈ
it
ప్రతి
uh,
ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఈ ర్యాగ్ మోడల్ ఏమైనా చాట్ బాట్ కానీ వర్చువల్ అసిస్టెంట్ కానీ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసినప్పుడు అంటే ఈ లైసెన్స్డ్ దానికి మరి అది పర్చేజ్ చేసుకుంటారు వాళ్ళు జస్ట్ ఎలాగా ఎల్ఎల్ఎం ఏదో ఒక ఎల్ఎల్ఎం యూజ్ చేయాలి కదా ఈ జెమినీ కానీ జీపీటీ కానీ
yeah,
సో వాళ్ళు
many organizations are using
ఓపెన్ సోర్స్.
Microsoft Azure. Okay,
ఓకే ఓకే
or direct OpenAI GPT.
ఓపెన్ అదే అంటున్నాను.
Here
అంటే దానికి మళ్ళీ ఏదైనా ఎక్కువ అమౌంట్ వాళ్ళకి పే చేయాలా లేదా జస్ట్ ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ తీసుకుంటారా ఎల్ఎల్ఎంది?
pay cheyali. Here it is a cost.
అదే ఓకే ఓకే.
Here these, so for example, if they take Azure OpenAI, Azure OpenAI based, how Azure, basically how Microsoft charges here is how many responses, how many, basically it's based on tokens. Okay, so based on the
Okay.
tokens it will be charged. So here we don't have control over the response actually. Okay, based on LLM, it might generate less response, sometimes medium, sometimes that all depends on its knowledge only, right? So here we can control in the prompt and query, we can control here. Okay, programmatically we can control.
ఓకే.
Okay, so I will quickly show you application, and then I think we can close the call. Almost 3 hours, right? You guys are okay? Not you're able to digest or no?
it is going. Yes.
Okay. So I will quickly show you. Okay.
I had one question. This ranking and all we have to control by coding, right? It is not anything by LLM.
No.
Hmm.
Ranking.
సో అదే ఇందులో మన పార్ట్ ఏంటి, వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ ని ప్రిపేర్ చేయడము, ర్యాంకింగ్ డిసైడ్ చేయడము, ఎంబెడింగ్స్, టోకెనైజేషన్ అవన్నీ మనం ఏం చేస్తామా, అది ఇంటర్నల్ గా అదే చేసుకుంటదా మోడల్?
I will show you. Here,
ఓకే.
here you're able to see my screen, right? I'm getting two screens actually. Something went wrong with. I have big display and laptop display gone actually. Now you're able to see folder right here.
Yes.
So here I built an application. Actually, this is a RAG with Gemini. Okay, Gemini LLM. So here I told right first. This is the PDF actually. PDF I kept here under PDF file. Okay, under PDF files. Okay, and here this is my vector database. I'm using FAISS. Okay, FAISS is basically it is from Facebook. That is a here.
One of the vector database software.
Here if you see FAISS, it's a vector database. Vector database actually from you open Facebook. Okay, that is FAISS stands for Facebook AI Similarity Search. There are many. I mean here Melvus is also there. Melvus is also vector database, high performance vector database. Melvus. And Chroma is also there. Chroma is also widely used database. Chroma means this Chroma is coming, but not this Chroma. Chroma, it is a vector database actually. Chroma.
Quadrant, Redis.
Yeah, so they are all different vector database. So in this example, I used Facebook as a similarity search. This is currently this is flat files based actually. I mean this can be stored also permanently. I mean we can store in any cloud storage like AWS S3 bucket or somewhere we can store this file system. Currently it is a file system here. So here what I did is first to prepare the data I created a file PDF loader. I mean PDF loader basically this is a Python script. Okay, this is Python library. Load PDFs to vector store. Okay, this is a function. This will actually store here. Here I told to create vectors actually we have to use embedding model, right? Line number 23 you see embedding 001. This is one of the models, embedding models from Google. This is not Gemini LLM. That's what I'm telling, right? Gemini LLM is different. Embedding model is different. Embedding models are actually used for creating embeddings for natural text. Okay. I mean, no, sorry, not text. Actually, it could be anything. It could be any data. I mean, we can create embeddings for images, videos, audio, anything we can create. So line number 2022, it is great. I mean, this is the creating embeddings actually using this generative AI embeddings class. This is taking this model and here is storing here. Local storage actually it's storing local and deserialization we are setting to store it local actually, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay, that we are doing in the iteration actually. If there are multiple PDFs, this for loop will be repeated and it will add to the same vector story. This add documents actually adds to the vector. Okay, adds to the vector. This is what it is doing. That's it. And this is the PDF loader, which is so for example, we will take that example actually, which Prasad mentioned, right? Where is that?
స్విగ్గీ ప్యాక్ అనేది పెట్టుకుంటాను. స్విగ్గీ ప్యాక్ చాట్లో అంటే కొట్టు సెట్ చేసి స్విగ్గీ ప్యాక్ అని
ఇక్కడ ఓపెన్ చేసాం కదా, it should be there. I will take it from this one here. Yeah, we will do it quickly actually. We will see whether
టైప్ సెర్చ్ కొట్టే గూగుల్లో వస్తుంది. అదే
this one only, right? Okay.
సో దీన్ని డివైడ్ మల్టిపుల్ ఫైల్స్ కింద డివైడ్ చేసుకోవాలా?
This one
ఎందుకంటే నువ్వు ఒక్కొక్కటి క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఎక్స్పెండ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఈచ్ ఆఫ్ దోస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈజ్ ఏ డాక్యుమెంట్ అనుకుంటుందా? మొత్తం అంతా ఒకే
No,
పీడిఎఫ్ లో
actually,
పెడతావా?
for quick check, we will put it in. I will generate PDF file actually.
మొత్తమా? ఓకే. సో ఇన్ విచ్ కేస్ నీకు వెక్టర్ డాక్యుమెంట్ సైజ్ పెరిగిపోదా?
Here, we will check one small thing actually. I think we need to extract that properly. Some collapse and all there, right? Yeah. I will try this only.
యా సరిపోతుంది.
I will put here your name also. Prasad. Okay, I will save this. Save as print PDF. Print PDF. Okay, my PDF is ready. Yeah, my PDF is ready. What happened to this one? Yeah, here Prasad is there. Okay, I will cut this. I will go back. I will. I can keep old file also, and I will put Prasad here. Okay. Now.
పై ఫైల్ రన్ చేయాలా?
Here application is already running. I'm stopping it. It got stuck. It's not exiting. Yeah, here. Yeah, here I have VNV scripts. Okay, and activate. Okay, and drag. Okay, here. Now what I will do is I will run this script. Okay, Python. Python. Here load PDF loader. PDF loader. This is the one. Okay, which. Here you see here PDFs are loaded successfully into the vector store. Okay. So now if you see my file system here, that timestamp should get updated, right? Timestamp you see 21:25, 21:25 current time, right? So vector store is updated. I mean, this is my vector store is ready. Now I will run the chatbot. Okay, I will run the chatbot. Here to run the chatbot, streamlit, run, and chatbot.
ఇది చాట్ బాట్ మేకర్ కదా, స్ట్రీమ్లిట్.
That interface, it provides interface. So now my chatbot is ready. Yeah, chatbot is ready. Now first I will check whether it is working or not. Hi. Okay, it is working. How can I help you? If we get the response, basically it is connecting to Gemini LLM. Okay, so it is basically RAG based. Okay, RAG based, but it for generic question like hi and all, it won't hit RAG and all because prompt is written like that. Okay, so it is just straightforward. Before running, I will show you the code also, chatbot code. You know, PDF code we have seen, right? PDF code, chatbot code. In the last session, we have written very basic chatbot, right? We just connected to LLM and querying some question and answers, right? Yeah, here it has more advanced implementation. Here these are all Streamlit imports. We are using LangChain. Okay, LangChain with the Google Gemini. Google, this is Gen AI. This one also we used. I mean embeddings we used here, and we used the FASS. Okay, and here this is RAG related retrieval chain. Okay, you will understand slowly. Okay, and that's it. And here we are showing .env, .load env, and here we are initializing the vector store. Okay, and initializing vector store here. Whatever vector store is there, right? We are storing from local fas.local load local. Actually, you see here, I have given this is the vector database name actually. Okay, it's a flat file. It can be it can be stored in cloud also. No, that's what I'm for persistent storage. I mean, production use cases and all, we should store in somewhere in the persistent storage, right? Somewhere, I mean, Firestore or Firebase store, Firestore or AWS cloud, S3 bucket, somewhere we have to store in cloud. Okay, this is the vector store. Okay.
అంటే జస్ట్ ఒక ఫైల్ లాగా చేసి ఇలా తెచ్చుకోవటం అంతేనా అది
currently yes. Okay, and that's it. And here this is the setup retriever, the RAG implementation actually. And here this is setup LLM. LLM is actually instance is creating here model. I'm using Gemini 1.5 Pro. As I told you, this LLM model and embedding model are different. Here we are using actual LLM. There we are using embedded embedded model for generating embeddings. Okay. Now in the architecture I was telling prompt, right? This is the one system prompt. System prompt you see here. You are an intelligent. You are an assistant for question and answering tasks. Use the following pieces of retrieved context to answer the question. If you don't know the answer, say that you don't know. Okay. Use 3 sentences maximum and keep the answer concise. Right. And this is the context. The one which is actually coming from RAG. Okay, this is the system prompt plus the context information. Okay, the actual query, the prompt which user is giving actually that is actually query. Okay, right? Process query. That is the query, which is actually here you see here. LLM and prompt we are chaining that and create retrieval chain. Here we are using that RAG actually. This is RAG related methods, RAG chain, and we are invoking RAG chain not invoke. Okay, which is actually the response, the final response. Combination of all 3 will be sent to LLM here by invoking dot invoke, and response actually from the LLM. Okay, the final response.
Are you sending every query to the RAG? హాయ్ అన్న ర్యాగ్ వెళ్తుందా?
జనరిక్ క్వరీ అది.
అదే హూ ఇస్ డిసైడింగ్ వెదర్ టు గో టు ర్యాగ్ ఆర్ నాట్? ఎక్కడ ఉంది?
That one will be decided here. We didn't mention in the prompt actually.
నువ్వు ఇచ్చేది క్వరీ ప్రాంప్ట్ లో ఏముంది, క్వరీలో ఏముంది? రిట్రీవర్ LLM. ఓకే,
ఈ ప్రాంప్ట్ ఉంది కదా, ఈ ప్రాంప్ట్ లో యూజ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ పీసెస్ ఆఫ్ రిట్రీవ్డ్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ టు ఆన్సర్ అని కాంటెక్స్ట్ అంటున్నాం అక్కడ.
మెసేజ్.
సో మై క్వశ్చన్, అది జనరిక్ క్వశ్చనా ఈ ర్యాగ్ లో ఉండే అవకాశం ఉందా అన్నది ఎక్కడ డిసైడ్ చేసి పంపుతాము, డైవర్ట్ చేసి తెస్తామా, లేదంటే ప్రతిదీ పంపి అక్కడి నుంచి ఏం కాంటాక్ట్స్ ఉంటే వస్తుందా లేదంటే లేదా అలాగే
Yeah,
ఉన్నాము.
yeah, but yes, I got your point. Based on this flow, actually, it goes because here we are calling the
LLM.
method, right? Rag chain is getting called before getting the response. It goes to vector database, but with high, nothing will be found, and that high will go to LLM, and high will the response will be that's it. How can I help you? That's it. And yeah, so here that's it actually. I mean, all steps are done. In the final chartbot, here we are calling the process query. Those are sub methods actually inside that. Process query is calling the other methods by taking this query and retrieval and LLM prompt, and then finally getting the response. The response will be populated in the chartbot. Okay. Now we ask generic question, right? Now I will ask. Do you know about Prasad? We'll see. Okay. Do you know about Prasad? Because we have given that information, right? The document has a dictionary, conditional building time, scaling, and I have the other document also actually. I mean that cloud also there in that PDF. Before we kept cloud also. Right? This is
No. You trolled me. Yeah.
ఇప్పుడు ఆ డాక్యుమెంట్ లోని క్వశ్చన్స్ మనం అడగాల ఇక్కడ
question cannot be answered from the given context. The process context, discount, integration, and other CSV display. It is giving from the cloud actually. From your document, what is the question?
క్వశ్చన్ పెట్టి అయితే ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్
How do you update my menu for the festive season? What do you offer for festive season అనుకుంటా అయితే
Yeah, I will ask from this.
ఇక్కడ చూద్దాం. Is a restaurant if
Russian is not integrated.
కాంబో మీల్స్ గురించి అడుగు థర్డ్ పేరాలో సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్ లో. కాంబో మీల్స్ ఆర్ ఎ గ్రేట్ వే టు అట్రాక్ట్ కస్టమర్స్ అండ్ కస్టమర్స్ టెండ్ టు షిఫ్ట్ టు అదర్ when they don't see any combo options అన్నాడు. కాబట్టి కాంబో ఆప్షన్స్ ఏమున్నాయని
Restaurant is not integrated on POS.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఇచ్చేస్తున్నాను. ఇంకోటి అయితే ఈజ్ యువర్ రెస్టారెంట్ సంథింగ్.
Yeah, see, answered.
Cannot be answered. Okay. Go to and click add new item. Mention items fixed in the comment section. Attach a bill copy. ఇది అందులో తీసుకొచ్చిందా మార్చింది కూడానా?
మారుస్తా జనరల్ గా డిపెండ్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ఓన్లీ దిస్ మచ్ వి హావ్ గివెన్ ది రెస్పాన్స్ ఇస్ ఎనేబుల్డ్
గో టు https అదంతా ప్రింట్ అయింది యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గా partner.swiggy.com అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి అండ్ క్లిక్ యాడ్ న్యూ ఐటమ్.
వాట్ డస్
కాంబో అలా అన్నాడు. కాంబో మీద
what does the POS partner do? What does the POS partner do? The question cannot be answered from the given context. Why is the question answered? The provided text discuss integration also. We have to. I think it is. I don't know how it is coming, but it doesn't mention that about POS partner. Yeah, but we have to. I mean, this is basic right to implement, so we have to enhance the techniques and see. But that is the whole idea actually. Like I mean, it is going and checking. Swiggy team, no direct request. Please note that will be what does the Swiggy team? No request will be processed. What does the Swiggy team do?
Can Swiggy team directly process request?
How Swiggy team process the request otherwise?
Yeah, here you see it answered. The security team processes menu revision request and submitted through a restaurant POS integrated partner. They approve menu item. It is getting.
No direct request from restaurant shall process.
Yeah, in some places it uses its knowledge to refine the answer, but here what I did is I have given in an instruction, right? Give maximum 3 sentences only to keep the answer concise. Actually, yeah. We have to refactor the prompt. I mean, that all depends on how we are writing a prompt. That is the key. Okay, in any AI application, and and RAG has some advanced techniques which you have to implement that. Okay, that we will talk about separately. But this is very basic RAG which we implemented. We put the documents as embeddings in vector database, and we built a chatbot to connect to LLM and work with that. That is the whole idea.
ఈ సెట్టింగ్ అప్ ప్రాంప్ట్ టెంప్లెట్ అన్నది ఒక్కసారే చేస్తావా? ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ ఇది ప్రాంప్ట్ సిస్టమ్ ప్రాంప్ట్ మార్చొచ్చు?
మార్చొచ్చు. We can put it in another file and
అంటే
conditionally we can
based on users configuration maybe ఎన్ని సెంటెన్స్ కావాలన్నది మార్చొచ్చు.
In last time I showed that agentic application we built a prompt file and defined all the prompts, and in the code we used on the conditions basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So
ఇక్కడ ఎన్ఎల్పి కూడా వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ టచ్ అవుతుందా? ఎల్ఎల్ఎంస్ కాకుండా ఎన్ఎల్పి అయితే కూడా వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ ఉంటుందా?
these are all NLP tasks only, natural language processing tasks only.
అదే అంటే నేను ఎల్ఎల్ఎం వరకు రాకపోతే ఓన్లీ ఎన్ఎల్పి వాడుతుంటే డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ నుంచి అప్పుడు కూడా వెక్టర్ డేటాబేస్ ఉంటుందా?
అవి కొన్ని ఆపరేషన్స్ అంటే ప్రివెన్షన్, వాట్ ఈస్ దట్, సమ్ ఫ్రాడ్ డిటెక్షన్ and అంతా చేయాలంటే we can use some NLP algorithms to do that. Okay, there we don't use RAG. It is only based on algorithms. So with this example, our core concept is working. Okay, the purpose of the RAG is actually what? To work with your own data, right? Now it is able to, the chatbot is able to answer for your questions, the data which is specific to you. But to improve the accuracy, to improve the responses, we have to implement some advanced techniques in RAG. We have to change the prompts. We have to do that. I mean, this is very basic RAG application which we built, right? So with basic RAG we cannot expect accuracy and all. It should come with advanced techniques. So that we will talk it. We'll discuss separately. I mean, in the next class, I think we'll cover. In this PPT, I already documented. Once you get time, you can read them. Here, if you see, here I have given example. Okay, what is RAG and what is not RAG. Okay, uploading documents is not a RAG. I mean, this response is from ChatGPT only. Okay. So Claude or ChatGPT. Uploading documents directly to ChatGPT or asking questions is technically RAG? No, it's not a technically RAG. RAG has some properties. Okay, we should have a persistence, and we should create a vector databases. We should store it as vectors. Okay, and RAG versus fine tuning differences also there here. Okay, training, adaptability, model architecture. RAG benefits. Okay, enhanced improved quality, versatility, efficient retrieval, dynamic updates, trust and transparency, customization and control, cost-effective solution. This is cost-effective because compared to training, we can achieve the same functionality. If you do training, if you train LLM also same response, right? You have data and you are training, but the training is expensive. RAG is less expensive. We achieved the same functionality with RAG. The end goal is actually what? Work with our own data. That is what we have done. So here, advanced RAG techniques, these are important actually. We will talk about that separately. We don't understand now. But once we implement all of these advanced techniques, the responses will be more accurate and not like direct text and all. We could filter out and we can make it more powerful actually, this application. Okay.
ఇప్పుడు ఈ చార్ట్ అప్లికేషన్ ఏ ర్యాగ్ ని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు can you have multiple different vector databases and dynamically pick which one you
Yeah, we can
user
do that.
discourse?
We can do
And
that.
multiple versioning, say for example, 2-3 versions of the same documentation of the, for example, అవి 2-3 different vectors లో ఉంచుకుని ప్రాంప్ట్ లో ఎక్కడో కన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు సెలెక్ట్ చేసిన
We can work with
దాని
multiple vector databases. So you from now onwards actually focus more on RAG, study whatever you could do, okay, whatever you could understand, because it is a huge concept, okay. It cannot be done in one day or 1 week, okay. I have been doing this for more than 2 years, and in the initial days a lot of struggle actually, because in the first attempt it didn't work, okay, many issues were there. Now able to run, and many people actually do a basic RAG implementation, and oh no, nothing, it's not working, it is actually fetching from the document and giving. No, it's not true. It will work, but the only thing is how efficiently you have implemented the application. That is important, right? How, I mean, what techniques you have used. I mean, these are some advanced techniques to improve the, I mean, avoid the hallucination and all, right? So here, once we implement all of them, then it will give more, I mean, accurate results. And
ఇప్పుడు మాకు హోంవర్క్ ఏంటి?
yeah, homework build, I mean, your use case is there, right? Do that completely.
Okay, so what tools are there? Python ఒకటి కోడింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి.
And use you can try different database, not FASS. You can try Milvus or Groma. Milvus is good, I think you can try Milvus.
Okay, and then Streamlit chatbot interface చేయొచ్చు.
This interface I think you are more comfortable with React, right? Implement React. This
React based, okay.
Interface, make it React. This Python you can make it as an expose as a REST endpoint. Call that REST endpoint in React. That's it. It will be more interesting also, right? Front end is in one technology, back end is in Python.
Yeah.
So I think your case is really I mean, good case. We have done only this much, but for initial demo or initial use case, to extract this one, or I mean, we can take HTML also, right? Take HTML and view page source will come everything, right? View page.
So
View page this also we could do actually. No need to extract individual, but these HTML tags also will go as embeddings. It is okay, nothing will happen. This full HTML we can put it as store it as a PDF and then do it for complete text.
నువ్వు కనెక్ట్ అయిన LLM ఏంటది? గూగుల్ దా, జెమినాయా?
Yes, here
ఓపెన్ సోర్స్.
మరి API అది తీసుకుని పెట్టావా?
All you can do actually, I mean, all of you can try. If you try hands-on only, it will be good actually. Otherwise, you will listen and forget actually. After 1 month, nothing will be remembered. Tech stack for you can use React for front end. Okay, React front end, and this backend web service, backend service. First, I mean, we'll use Fast API to expose REST endpoint, and then Python library. Fast API also Python library only. Python the initial code, and
Fast API, yeah?
Here, Fast API, it's a library to expose Python code into REST. It's like Express.js.
Okay.
And then you have to use LangChain. LangChain also you do some study. It is interesting. LangChain. For LangChain actually, Langflow. What is that? Langflow, it is basically no LCNC tool actually. The LCNC.
LangGraph ఉంటుందా?
LangGraph is agentic.
Agentic.
Langflow is basically low code, no code tool. No, okay. But anyway, don't mix everything. Do it from directly only. Use use perplexity only for the. I think for you it is expensive license. I think right. You can use
దేని పెర్ప్లెక్సిటీ చెప్పి
use GPT only. I think GPT-5 is there now, right? It could answer good. Langchain use Langchain.
LLM LLM
No.
GPT
For code
కోడ్కే
generation.
కోడ్కి
ఓకే
For code generation, question. It is helping.
కోడ్ అసిస్టింగ్ ఓకే
కోడ్ అసిస్టింగ్
నేను
ప్రస్తుతం use Copilot.
ప్రస్తుతం కర్సర్ వాడుతున్నా
Cursor also you can use. Cursor. Here main Langchain actually. Langchain.
LLM వచ్చేసి
Langchain use RAG. Next vector database. Use Melvus. Vector database Melvus RAG. That's it, na?
అంటే జిఐ ఓకే రియాక్ట్
And React. This step.
LLM ఏదైనా పర్లేదు కదా, కాకపోతే ఏపీఐ తీసుకొని ఉండాలా కనెక్ట్ అవ్వండి మరి.
ఇక్కడ
జెమిని
LLM
ఓపెన్
Gemini.
ఫ్రీ వర్షన్ కనెక్ట్ ఇస్తాడా?
Free there. Create an API key. Create an API key. Here you can do it right away only. That key generate. Here Google API key. Here you can search. API keys.
Cloud Functions. ఇది మోడల్ ఎంబెడింగ్ మోడల్ ఏం వాడమన్నా?
Embedding Google only.
Google.
Here I have the repo. Use it for reference. Here it is already there. This RAG with Gemini. This repo.
Okay.
Refer to it.
Yeah, that would be better. అది బెటర్ అయితే చార్ట్ లో నాకు.
So here refer to it and creating an API key you can do it right away. Here API key.
Yeah, API. LinkedIn server.
ఓకే, నేను డ్రాప్ అయిపోతున్నాను. మళ్ళీ రేపు పొద్దున కన్వర్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళాలి. నేను వీడియోస్ వస్తాను. ఓకే, అంటే
అయిపోయింది. Okay. Better. See.
ప్రసాద్ ఇక్కడ ఏ స్టూడియో ఇక్కడ క్రియేట్ ఏపీకి ఉంది కదా, ఇది క్రియేట్ ఏపీకి.
యా, ఆ లింక్ ఆ యూఆర్ఎల్ పెట్టి సరిపోతుంది అయితే పైది ఏ పేజ్ లో ఉందో అది.
అది ఏపీ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత విత్ కాల్ కమాండ్ క్విక్లీ టెస్ట్ ఇట్ వెదర్ దట్ వర్కింగ్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఇట్ షుడ్ వర్క్ యాక్చువల్లీ. సో
జస్ట్ ఆ పేజ్ యూఆర్ఎల్ కూడా ప్లేస్ చేసి జస్ట్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఉంటుంది.
సో ట్రై దిస్ API key, that is API key, and
Yep.
technology Gemini LLM create an API key and embedding model దాంట్లో ఉంది. సో ఇది టెక్ స్టాక్. సో నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ make one MVP working on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
సరే అయితే
okay.
ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ అయిందిరా. అదే ప్రాక్టికల్ చేయాలి, అన్ని గుర్తుండవు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు కోడ్ ఇప్పుడు పైథాన్ లో నువ్వు రాసిన 2 ఫైల్స్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ కు తర్వాత ర్యాక్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ కి, సో అన్ని మనం మాన్యువల్ గా అదే మనం ఓన్ గా ఇప్పుడు చేయాలి కదా, అవి మన పార్ట్. ఇవన్నీ ఇన్స్టాల్ టూల్స్ అన్ని రెడీ చేసుకొని సెటప్.
నేను ఇక్కడ ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లో UI కూడా పైథాన్ లైబ్రరీలో ఉంది, స్ట్రీమ్లిట్ లో ఉంది. అది ఇక్కడ
ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిస్ట్.
రియాక్ట్ అయితే బాగుంది, ఇక్కడ మోర్ కంట్రోల్ ఉంటుంది కదా.
అవునవును.
ఓకే, మరి అయితే రికార్డింగ్ ఆపేచ్చాము.